Welcome back to your live coverage of the Australian Ultimate Championships. We're on day 6. It's finals day. Coming to you as your weekend KO freebie and on ultivids.com for international viewers. It's women's semi-final action. Simon Talbot here, joined by Amy Trello. How are you, Amy?
I'm doing all right. Excited for this game.
We've got Manly Ultimate Club in the black there, playing out of Sydney, or Manly, obviously. And then Factory from the nation's capital in the red. Manly, the reigning runner-up in the national championships. Factory, I think, came in 5th last year, so both teams expected to make quarterfinals, and unfortunately only one of them is going to be able to go through to semi-finals later today. We'll have a quick look at the teams. And Manly, a very storied history. Very strong in the 2000s, then went dormant for a few years and have come back with a huge resurgence of young players, especially in the last few years. Some of the young players to watch for: number 2, Hannah Chen; number 95, Natalie Otten; and the Strawn sisters, number 5, Shania, and 21, Eva, as well as the veterans of the team, number 10, Lacey Moore; number 19, Holly Reeve; and 14, Diana Warman. Wasn't here on day 1 when we covered her game, but you'd be familiar with Diana's action, would you, Amy?
Yeah, I played against Diana back in maybe 2008.
Very difficult to stop when she gets up and going. And looking at the Factory squad, again, a good mix of youth and experience. Some of their up-and-comer players. Number 12, Kira Bobbin. We saw her on the end of a few goals the other day. And also Jessica Needle and Jess Lowry getting well involved in the action as well. Look for number 2, Julia Birchall, one of their big throwers, and number 54, Liz Eady, to be a nuisance generally for defence, running it through the middle of the stack. And of course their coaches, Ariel Ivanovic and Nicholas Hodson, guiding them from the sideline. Well, it's been heavy rain this morning. Subsided a bit though, but kind of mild temperatures. Let's say we're high teens and no wind to speak of. So if you are willing to ignore the mud, it's probably perfect conditions for Ultimate today, isn't it?
Yeah, good layout weather.
Of course, the fields here at the Tomaree Sports Complex in Nelson Bay, generously provided to us by Port Stephens Council. Just both teams very sort of low energy at the moment. Just Manly just getting in a few more throws, getting used to the conditions. Factory over there huddling around their coaches. So it's games to 15 as the rules have been all weekend. First to 15 goals wins the game. We do have 100-minute time cap. So that means if the clock gets to 100 minutes before either team has reached 15, then that score target gets reduced, which we haven't seen happen once this weekend. Usually at this level, games are close and do go through to that overtime, but we haven't. It's all been relatively quick scores here this weekend. So we'll see what the semi-final provides us.
I had a quick chat to Holly before the game to ask what their style of play was, and she said that they're a little bit different style for handlers and cutters. They like everybody to be involved in the game and to get their hands on the disc. So you wouldn't see a typical handler staying behind the disc. Might see them upfield making big cuts and scoring goals.
Yeah. It's advantageous to have some of your power throwers playing upfield a bit, so when they do get that first open pass, then they've got that wide look at the whole field and the whole end zone.
Yeah.
Of course, other 3 semi-finals happening as we speak. We'll be bringing you score updates as we can get them. Just having a look behind me here, we can see field 6. We've got Fuse out of Brisbane with one of the Ellipsis teams. I think that's Ampersand. And then we've also got Blueberries versus, I don't know who. Sorry, I can't see that one from here. That might be Rogue, I think.
Oh, it's Rogue.
Yeah, they've got brand new jerseys. There's too many teams have got brand new jerseys for me to recognise from a couple of fields away. So we're going to have Manly starting first on defence. They're going to be aiming for the end zone left of screen. Factory to the right. There's the siren. There's the scoreboard. We are underway officially. As Holly Reeve there to send the disc into play for Manly. Sticks her hand up. Factory's hands up. Off we go. Bracket time. Birchall and Eady there to field the ball for Factory. We've got isolated cutters out to the left there. You can only just see them on coming into your right of screen now because Manly's gone to a zone defense, covering territory instead of players. And first block there, Anna Stoddart getting her hands on it nice and clean. Quickly shoots the other way, looking for, I think it was Hannah Chen there, but had to dive behind her. Very awkward to catch those ones.
Oh, that's a veteran throw.
Birchall forces Dedman to be, forces Rosie Happ to be underneath it. Hard to reel those ones in house. To Shires. To Otten. Back to House, getting close to that high sideline. Shoots up the line again, looking for Hannah Chen. They've shown their hand a bit, and that she seems to be a target for this offense.
Yeah, it looks like it. She's hanging out in the end zone, too, for it.
So often in these first couple of points, you see the teams feel each other out a bit. Take a few early shots just to see how they respond. 64 from goal. Birchall. Got Lorna Barr on this high side. Spots her up. Has plenty of time to get to it. No one really putting pressure on her. Again, some good territory there. About 40 from goal now. Edie home, only looking upfield. No one's on their high side for her as much as she wants it out there. Birchall finally obliges. Happ to Edie. Air's gone up the line. Bit of contact on the mark there.
A tight game.
Birchall finds Air. Only doing really well to pin them to this high side and not allow any options that to the top of screen. Birchall looking at the stack, imploring one of her cutters to come towards her. Doesn't get much happening. And foul called on the mark. She went to step around. Stoddard there was just moving into that space at the same time, so a little bit of a nudge, but sounds like Stoddard's contending that, yeah, she had that space first and Birchall's gone into her, so.
So in terms of us racing, I don't think I moved, and if I did move, it was away, but keep moving away from foul. I felt contact. So if you don't think it's a foul, it's contested. Okay. It's a contested foul.
Contested foul's probably the right outcome there, Amy. They didn't seem to agree quite on what happened, so the store count will resume probably at about 5 or 6. I think it would have been quite high.
Yeah, Manly's really tight on the defense here. It's been really hard for Factory to get a throw off.
Eddie coming around to the near side. And again, you can see all the Manly defenders on this bottom side of their players really cutting off that space for the cutters. Dedman. Back to Edie. There we go, moving to that high side. They've got numbers out here. Air. Manly defense quick to respond to that shift. Birchall. Puts a big long shot up looking for Susan Dedman out the back there. She's tracking it in. And has Shies bearing down on her, but manages to hold her ground and just hold on to the clean catch, and Factory with the first goal of the game.
Yeah, that was really tight defense by Manly. Factory did well to maintain possession of the disc.
So what you'll see downfield defenders try and do, Amy, is try and all simultaneously position themselves on one side of all the cutters to try and cut off half the field, right?
Yeah. And that would cut off the throws for the handlers, so it's cutting off the options. The next option for handlers is to look for their dump or a swing pass to try and open up that field.
Yeah. Or take that shot over the top, as Birchall just did. So,
yeah.
But risky throw. Birchall makes those ones look so easy. Just
yeah, the height helps.
Yeah, the 40-metre shot just over the top, over the back of everyone. And Dedman would have been on the receiving end of them so many times at training that she's able to track them pretty easily. See that pull land well out of bounds, and that's going to be fielded by, I think Shaban was going to pick that up, but Di Warman said they're going to call that from the sideline. So teams have the option of taking it from where it went out of bounds or at the brick mark, which is centre field. If taking the brick mark, sometimes it's okay to lose those yards to make sure you get it in the middle of the field, so you've got both sides to throw at. So Warman, she's got every player ahead of her, you can see on the screen. No, that confident that she doesn't need someone behind or lateral. Simcox. Back to Warman, continues to party, and Laura Erison saw that coming a mile away and has run through and blocked that. Turned a block into an intercept and got the moving straight away. Lim. And Strawn responds with a D of her own.
Little trade.
As you mentioned, really tight defense from both teams here, Amy. Neither giving an inch, and there we go. Another shot's gone up, and Lynn gets just enough of a tap on that just to knock it out of bounds. So what would have, this would have been flying out of bounds, and of course the disc remains in bounds until it's touched someone or something. And defenders are considered in bounds, so rather than wait for it to try and land on the ground and land back in, Lim's just made sure of it, which means it's going to be played from where she hit it. Emerson.
That's right. Smart defense.
Got Lim going deep, got DeHoog behind her. High stall count, so just puts it forward. Hap. The defender slipped over a bit, gave her a couple of looks upfield. Emerson charging up the line. She's got two cars going along, but we've one of the cutters, I think that was Hap there, who've lost their feet.
There's no call, just the whole field stopped. And so kind of became a stoppage. Sure.
Yeah, so players are just agreeing, like they can agree on just a fair outcome, even if it's not to the letter of the law. So two players collided, fell over. No one actually made the call though, but Di Warman there from Manly suggested let's just treat it as an uncontested foul because we've all stopped play. So Emerson has a good look at the end zone. She's got Hap with her first goal.
That was a nice throw up the line.
That's the first, what we call defensive break, Amy. So teams generally, once you've caught the goal, will pull to the other team. So it works a bit like tennis. It's sort of serving, you know, trade back and forth. But if the defensive team gets the goal, that gives them an advantage, so to speak. So as you see there, the Factory really adept at these leading passes in very narrow spaces. So only going, you know, no more than 10 metres from that sideline. It's really playing into almost what the defence wants them to do, is to stay close to that sideline, but they're backing themselves for pace. So 2-0 the score. Okay, first ball lands in bounds. And again, a zone defensive look. Anderson and Moore give go before hitting Natalie Otten at the back there. And she's put it up and high. She's got a couple of players to their advantage, and I think that's Hannah Chan, who they were looking for with that first goal. Finally found her on this one.
Yeah, Manly's on the board.
So Factory running with his own defence there as well as Manly had been, but Manly were just worked through it so easily, didn't they? Yeah,
once it's broke, it's hard to really have your defense set up again, especially with that quick movement right there through the middle.
Of course, the Factory zone was trying to pin them towards this sideline, but Manly were able to just take those forward passes as they moved to this sideline, that quick movement, meaning that Factory just couldn't keep up. So they get themselves on the scoreboard. It's 2-1. But of course, Factory still retain an offensive advantage as they'll be receiving this pull. So still holding a one to 2 goal lead, and that's good to get that kind of distance between you and your opponent early. You make the other team play catch-up ultimate rather than try and play their style, play what they're comfortable with. So we've ticked over 10 minutes into this game. It's going at a slower pace this game early, but that's expected once you reach the bracket play. You're not really worried about sort of conserving energy. It's, you know, win or go home. Wang. Yeah, Manly thin that high side. Emerson getting horizontal. She's got the Hoog for the short gainer. 3 cutters heading away from her. She picks out Bobbin. Bobbin goes early, but that's Laura House, I think, that got the clean intercept. Bombs it out wide to Stoddard. Shires. Looking for that forehand. Kershaw. Longley's on her own. Gets spotted up. Simcox has to chase this one. She's going to have to go, but
Disc is down.
Yep, thrown to her advantage, but just overshot a little bit. Wang. Looking for DeHoog. DeHoog has a good clean shot at Bobbin, who positions herself better this time and takes the massive grab over Laura House. But House is called, well, she's put the signal up for offside, but I don't think that's what she's calling offensive foul. So we've got our game advisor, Aidan Turner, nearby. They're just going to have a chat first about what happened. Let's see if we can listen in.
I didn't have a view of what happened, but what do you need clarification on the rules, or?
I was in front, body positioning, went up to get the disc,
Okay.
hold my arm down, hit my arm,
Okay.
my nose.
I think it was just on the come down, so I had made the jump, but when we were coming down, you were underneath me and my arm getting down on top of me, I think.
Okay, so there was contact. You think it affected the play, but you don't think it affected the play. Okay, so you can contest that,
Yeah.
and we'll go from there. Okay.
So contested offensive foul. Like, we have the benefit of replay here, Amy. Like, the players can ask us, but you know, given it's not always available for every game, I tend not to. But it did look like Bobbin had the disc and then made the contact on the way down after she retained possession. But it's hard to it's really hard to know that at the moment. I think it seems like the outcomes, they couldn't agree on what happened. So this will go back to DeHoog. Immediately looks for the reset. Emerson. Got Lowry heading deep at the top left there. Probably a bit too far away at this stage. Lim. Tries doing a good job defending Emerson here. Struggles to get open, but a clever throw from Lim opens it up. Centre field now, about 25 from goal. Puts it over the top to Wang, just out of her reach.
It's a little bladey throw.
Yeah, House
And we
will,
want to capitalize on this.
House will restart play. Dishes off to Shires. Not many options forthcoming for Shires. It's both teams at the moment not providing a heap of options on offense, and like she just has to go forward to Longley because the soul count would have been high, but Lim just got her arm in there, got the nice clean block. Emerson to restart about halfway to goal. Has a good long look half field, wants a long shot, sends the backhand up to the advantage of Bobbin. Bobbin's just going to have to reel this one in. That was a good little go fetch throw from Emerson. She saw Bobbin in the one-on-one contest. And Bobbin was facing that high side. We'll check it out on the replay. But Emerson's just going, no. I'm throwing it where I want, and I want you to go get it. So we see this run through D here by Lim. Yeah, it was the last option left too for Manly to throw to. Bobbin had to double back, but perfect delivery.
Yeah, really good placement on that throw. back on the back side of the defender. It's really hard to defend that when the disc is in front of your offense.
Yeah, once you as a cutter, once you're between the disc and your defender, they don't really have a play on it. So you just see most of the time they'll just back out of the contest because they realise, look, if I go for it, I'll probably foul and I'll end up with it anyway. So Marine Schmidt to pull for Factory. Keeping that high and floaty, going to give her defence time to get down. Strong will get the first pass off to Warman for some easy territory, about 40 from goal. Throw out to Reeve. Reeve's got Otten wide open, but heads back to Laws instead. And a pick's being called in the stack. So the disc will stay with Reeve, we think. Reeve just checking. That didn't actually affect what was happening around the disc. Lorna Barr was disagreeing on where the players would have been had that pick not occurred. So I think, yeah. So the disc will stay with Reeve. You can see that pairing second from the left there, Cardi and Barr were just working out exactly where they would have been. But Reeve picks out Strawn. Plenty of options, and Reeve gets that up the line leading cut. She's got Otten one out, she's got Warman one out now, but looks to the bottom side where Manly will likely have numbers. They can swing it out, but we do a great job putting that off. Cardi. Strong continues up the line. Fantastic give-go movement there.
Little spike by Manly. So sometimes when the disc is stopped, that's away from the disc, I think it gives it an opportunity for the handler with the disc to look at where the open people are. And that's a real advantage.
Yeah.
Easy throw.
And also just size up the one-on-one. So who's marking who and who do I think is going to have the advantage here? So
maybe there's a mismatch.
Yeah.
Lots of things you can take in as the handler in that situation.
It was Eva Strawn running that give-go movement with the little 1-2 with Taylor Cardi. It's a pretty common old move among handler sets to dish it off, run that 45-degree leading pass, and I'm surprised how often it catches out defenders, given every team in the country and most teams around the world run that same style.
It's hard to defend.
It's hard to defend just because
you know it's coming.
Yeah. It's the throw and takeoff. Like, that's what usually gets out defenders. If the defenders there worry too much about their marking position and the stall count, they can have, the thrower can have 2 steps on you before you realise. Emerson. And I think it was Nan down there that got it back to her. And Emerson's called the foul after hitting the ground there. So having to make a double back and okay, yep, so Emerson suffered a concussion earlier in the season, so she's been sort of managing that as she comes back in. So that injury sub will be a precaution. It looked like she sort of whipped her head a bit, and straight away she's just going, look, I'm going off. I'm going to take a few minutes just to check that I'm okay. So the disc will still stay with Manly. Swing out wide for Shania Strawn and Lacey Moore. Pick called in the stack there again. Another just avoidance of collision there as Liz DeHoo catches up to her player just to avoid that collision happening again if they restart. So it's safety precaution, that rule. So Reeve about 15 from goal. Having a look to this bottom side. Anderson. And great movement there.
Oh, a little breeze came up. Disc floated above, but she's able to bring it down.
Yeah, that breeze came in right in as Christine Wern caught it and just putting that floaty throw out to Lacey Moore. It meant that Moore got a second go at it just because Wang put enough spin on it that the breeze just caused it to sort of hang in the air. So take another look at it. So Anderson has swung. I reckon the breeze comes in about right now. Yeah, you can see she sort of had tried to angle it into Moore's lap, but the breeze popped it up. And so they deliberately angle those throws.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But great awareness for Moore to overrun it at first, but immediately just double back and take the two-handed grab.
You can kind of see that the disc was wobbling back and forth too, and that means that there's not enough spin on it.
Yeah.
Which it makes it easier for the wind to take it.
Lucy Moore, another player you would have encountered a number of times over the years, Amy?
Lisi. I say Lisi plays with a grimace or a smile. Great teammate, great defense, great offense.
Marine Schmidt's got to fly and gets a clean hand to it, but just can't secure it as she hits the deck. Great throw by Birchall there. Had got about 50, 55 metres on that one. So Laura House for Manly, having to go almost the full measure to goal. Stoddard. A couple of cutters coming towards her. Has to pop it out to Reeve. Reeve's got a couple. Looks deep. She winds up and goes for it. This looks like Shabana's going to be on the end of it. Tracks it all the way in, and Natalie Otten with her first goal.
Manly made that look easy.
Yeah. So, I think Julie Birchall's got one of the best forehand hucks, what we call the long throws, in women's ultimate. And I think Holly Reeves got one of the best backhands. So, true expose of both those throws in that point there. So Schmidt, she did so well. Perfect technique too. Got the arms out in front of her just so she's not taking weight on her elbows. Mm-hmm. But sometimes if your torso's hitting the deck right at the same time you're trying to grip the disc, you know, the big puff of air comes out as the lungs compress. Yeah, Reeve able to put a lot more float on that throw. And Otten did the smart thing there. She was running long for that cut as well, but she saw the throw go up. Rather than trying to come into the contest, dragging the defender in, she's just kept going to the end zone, backing her teammate in to take the clean catch and have that option out the back.
That's right, good vision. The playing field is 64 meters, with the end zones being 18 meters each. And to gain 40, 50 yards on that throw just takes the pressure off.
Yeah. No, still damp conditions, no rain to speak of, but I'm just going to touch wood while I say that. But the wind is picking up, so that just makes throws just a bit trickier. I think at this level it's not going to affect them too much. It's just going to make throws heading to the top side of the field just a little bit more uncertain. We're going to throw down to Daniel Clinton on the sideline.
Yeah, just finding out a little bit of information in the factory huddle as to what the plan is here. They want to lift the intensity on defense and try and get a turn and a block here.
So Manly with the advantage now, a 1-goal lead, but factory with a chance to respond to bring him back to 4-all. Just poking my head over my shoulder. The quarterfinal behind us between Ampersand and Fears is at 5-all. As that pull heads out of bounds. Hits the ground well behind us. Probably wasn't even that close. So they'll take the brick. So the disc will start centre field, 20 from goal. And Emerson's back on the field, so good to see she's feeling good. So they've got their cutters set up across the field. Looks like they're trying to isolate Rosa in the middle there. We'll see on the watch. So just player moving now towards the left. That's who they're trying to find. There we go. The throw goes up the top to her. Stu with the break throw. Appel having to dive for it. When pick's been called in the stack. We're going to see a bit of that today because it's day 3. Teams have played games up until now. And so instead of having the discipline to go a bit further out and around with the cuts, you tend to sort of take the shortest route, which sometimes can be through traffic. Stu trying to get open. Bodman provides that outlet. Appel finds Stuve now. Cutter's heading away from her. They probably want to get another 10 metres close to the end zone before they take that long shot. Stuve getting off her feet. Dandon unguarded. And there we go. There's that up the line shot. And Steve had to go horizontal for that one. It's the same kind of handler movement we see with Manly do as well. Strawn. Shires. It's got Sarah Laws one out deep. But again, they're probably going to wait till they get to about halfway down the field before they take that long shot. Stoddard. Looks off Laws. Gets it to Cardi, who gets it ahead of Wang. Shires working both sides of the field now. He's got a couple of deep looks, but just holstering them for now. Sees Cardi, one out, puts it in between Strawn and Cardi. Strawn thinks she's got it. Stu saying maybe not. Did you catch that one, Amy? I think it looked all right.
Can't tell.
Yeah. We have the advantage for replay. Sean's saying as she dives, she got a hand underneath it, but one of the edges might have hit it. All right, so we've got a...
So from my perspective, it was down.
Yeah, that's down. Yeah, it's one of those that's down. And Strawn did the right thing. Yeah. I mean, she thought she had it, and that's fine, but she did the right thing by asking everyone else around her. If she wasn't sure, she's just going to make the decision. She's going to ask others. Asked the game advisor there, he wasn't able to provide. And that's a huge loud grab from Wang.
Wow.
Picks it up, sends it. Hannah Dandan.
Wow, what a throw. You know, when you lay out, there's this rush of adrenaline. You're already running, you lay out, you have this adrenaline, and then she makes a throw like that into the end zone. Controlled.
Unbelievable. Yeah, to maintain the sort of composure you needed to balance yourself and really rip that, it would have been 35 metre throw. Let's get another look at it. Yeah, again, it's floated up. She's had to have a second go with it.
Oh.
You can see then just hook off out the back, and I think your defender there might have paused for a moment thinking, oh, hang on, that's down. But you play until someone tells you not to. What a crap. And Cardi there putting pressure on it too.
Yeah, and you know the disc would be wet. Slick, it probably has mud on it. So for her to hold on to that and then make that throw and it doesn't slip.
So 4-all the score now. A bit of an arm wrestle. Neither team with any kind of real advantage here.
Oh, I like the roll pulls. The rollies. That's something that people should practice. If you want to throw those, you can't just throw those without practicing.
You get by some bonus distance if you don't think you've got the power to get all the way like Holly Reeves just done here. She's thrown it to 3 receivers. Lorna Barr's going to get involved, but Natalie Otten just has been on the receiving end of way too many Holly Reeve throws, and she's just learned that a travel is being called on the throw.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, no, sorry, a pick is called. So let's see what's happened here. And oh, okay. Yep, no, it's fair. So you can see, I think it was Chen as she took off deep. Not deliberately, mind you, but cut in front of Air, who had to pull up to avoid a collision. And Otten was the player that Air was marking. So it can very much... My feeling is that if someone else had caught that goal, she would have just let it go. But it was her direct opponent that caught it. So she's like, well, I definitely got disadvantage there. So she's going to restart play, but still give Otten a couple of minutes advantage. She wasn't right up with her, so I wouldn't be surprised to see this shot go again. And there we go. It's the other side of the field now, this time.
Oh.
Much cleaner.
Wow. And she maintained control.
Yeah, virtually the same outcome, but I mean, Air was right to make that call. She was disadvantaged by something else had happened. She did the right thing for safety's sake to pull up and not just run through it. So,
and there again, I think that Holly used the stoppage to her advantage.
Yep.
You're able to see the field a bit clearer. You can calm yourself, take a couple breaths.
I think that was Schmidt that was marking her. She saw the wind up from Reeve and thought she's going to throw the exact same throw again. So jumped across, which then gave Reeve the look at throwing it the other way. So see one, yep.
Little fake. And it doesn't take big dramatic fake to throw off your defense.
Yeah. As long as you have the same action every time, so if your fakes look like your throws, you can start that wind up and the defender's going to go up. Here we go.
I remember when I first started playing Frisbee, 2000, I used to practice faking in the mirror with the disc to get better.
If you can fool yourself, you can fool anyone.
Oh, too funny.
The Hoog, Steve, Lim. Northard getting involved. A lot of cuts heading in different directions. She struggles to pick out one, but finds Lim. Lim's put the big backhand up. She's got Bobbin one out with Wang. Bobbin, she has position, goes early. I think the wind sort of pushed out a bit further than she would have thought. I don't think she was in a bad position there, but you can see it's floating up high, but then it sort of darts off to the left quite sharply, taken by the wind blowing towards the camera. So it gives Manly an opportunity to go up 2 goals here. Chang gets it ahead of Lim. Overshoots Anderson. Emerson with the intercept. Stuve now has Lim on that high side, puts it up, just way too much on it.
Yeah, and again, that breeze is coming cross field, so anything, if that lip on that disc gets up on that breeze side, it's going to carry it a bit further.
It was a good look because Lim was almost virtually unguarded and had that whole high side for a good leading pass, and just way too much heat on it. Shaban, that's been thrown. I think her cutter doubled back when she wasn't quite expecting it to, so Emerson to DeHoog. Really likes that in-shot shot to centre field, and I think the defender got a fingertip to that one, which pushed it to ground earlier than Bobbin could get to it. So another opportunity for Manly. As you see, Shirin Shaban put it up to Anderson. Anderson looking to the slow side. Lim versus Chang again. Great positioning by Chang. Longley, centre field now. Cuts coming at those 45-degree angles, providing plenty of lateral options, and Shaban's put it out wide. Again, good option. I think that was Lacey Moore heading to that top corner there.
All right, and here the disc went out of bounds in front of the end zone, so the disc will be taken.
Yes, of course. So,
in front.
So it didn't come back in bounds. So DeHoog will restart play. Just under 60 from goal. Puts the long backhand shot up the line. Bobbin's going to meet it. Gives it to Emerson, who is the first intended receiver, and keeps going towards the end zone. Lim providing a secondary option. Now DeHoog heading up the line. High stall count, so Emerson just has to put it out. They're making Kieran Bobbin do a lot of work here at this point. Northard gives her a bailout. DeHoog. Not much attacking that front corner yet, so Northard says, right, if no one else will, I will.
All right.
And again, we've seen, I think, 3 or 4 goals now from that same cut from behind, left, from square to the disc, 45 degrees into that front corner for that leading pass. And as we spoke about before, you think, why doesn't defense just stop it?
So one thing that can work, and this takes a lot of practice, is when that throw is in the corner of the end zone, the defense needs to talk to each other.
Yeah.
So if the person is cutting past the handler with the disc, they can say strike, strike.
And that means
that the person marking the handler can come around and just show a hand, make it a little bit harder for it to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of practice and communication.
It does, because you've only got maybe half a second of a window to get that happening. So 5-all. Just poking our head over our shoulder at the, I think we've just seen Fuse take a lead over Ampersand. That would have been the cheering you heard in the background would be Mammoth getting around their sister club from Brisbane. We'll keep our focus here on this one for now. 5-all. Schmidt pulling for Factory Warman. Distrawn. A couple of easy passes off before the defense is locked on. Reeve. To Chen. Warman. You can hear the coaches urging Factory to position their defense. Warman winds up. Otten on her own. That was just the old point and deliver. Otten was just...
Great crossfield there.
Yeah, you can see it just at the left of screen, just stick the juke up and say, look, Di, if you throw this one out, leave it with me. And why wouldn't you? That's I think, third goal now. And, yeah, you can hear the factory coaches urging the defenders to position themselves to force the throwers to go to the sideline rather than centre of the field to try and stop exactly that kind of pass happening. So, Daniel Clanton, you've been wandering around the other 3 quarterfinals. You've got some updates for us.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to leave the game next to us till last because that one's the most interesting. On the far field, Blueberries are currently up 7-3 against Rogue. They're really stretching their legs into that game, looking good over there. Ellipsis playing GWS, they took half 8-4. And then we come to Ellipsis v Fuse. Fuse just broke Ellipsis for 6-7. And that game is looking extremely interesting.
Wowee. So Ellipsis, the women's side, the reigning champions, have got 2 teams, Asterix and Ampersand. Asterix, the one 8-4 on GWS, and Ampersand battling against Fuse as that ball lands out of bounds. Emerson's taken the, Birchall has taken the brick. We see a bit of a little Manly cheer squad forming on that top side of the field. The big club Manly, they had a number of teams in Division 2. Just a short drive up the F3 to support their top women's team here. Air. Debman heading towards the end zone at the top of screen there. Schmidt, centre field. Couple of options. Needle. Schmidt just rolling her eyes at how close she got with that one. Air doing the work. Edie. Nice little one too. They're playing Edie out of the stack, so to get those little just short passes to reset the count and just move upfield, 3 or 4 metres at a time. She has little difficulty getting free in that shorter space. Air, centre field, 15 from goal. Can look at either side. Lorna Bar there. Edie was one out, but couldn't get it to her. They hit this low side. They got numbers. Manly defence doing really well at cutting off both sides. And Birchall has gone over the top. I think that's Debban she's found there.
Factory made that look really easy, taking open shots. They didn't look pressured at all when they had the disc. As you get closer to the end zone, sometimes that changes, and it did for them. But overall, Factory maintained control of that really well, made it look easy.
Yeah, it was a good setup because Schmidt just relieved of that one. So Birchall and Air were happy to bounce it back and forth, just quite close together. Sometimes you see those lateral part of the swing pass setups try and get sort of 15, 20 metres, but they're set less than 10 just to, I guess, keep resetting the count, as you'd say. So the store count, they've got 10 seconds to throw. Counted out loud by the closest defender. And so when you get to 5 or 6, you just tend to look for something short, just to reset the count, maintain possession. You're no longer looking for attacking yards. And they did well just to keep resetting the count, just keep the pressure on Manly to keep that defensive intensity up continuously without any kind of respite. So Maddie Stu to send the pull up. That's going to drift out of bounds, so we'll see what Manly take. They'll take the sideline because I only got to about maybe halfway. So Stu wouldn't be too disappointed with that one, but we've seen Factory with their pulling deliberately try and land it more around sort of 30, 40 metre sidelines. They can set up this zone and already have them trapped on the sideline and give them time to actually set up position properly. It's drawn. Reeve under double coverage, has to go backwards, puts a big long throw out to Kershaw. Kershaw tracking it well. Continues to Cardi. Cardi puts the shot up the line. Kathleen Kershaw. Very happy with that one.
There we go. Factory put on a zone. It was broken down by Holly throwing the cross field, opening it up. Yep. It was hard for Factory to get back in it again, to put the defense on.
And we've seen Factory set up that zone a couple of times, but Manly just go, ping 2 or 3 passes over the top to break it open. So if it was up to you, Amy, would you persist with that zone or would you go for something different?
Well, just because it wasn't working doesn't mean that you should stop doing it. I think it's worth it to pursue it a few times.
At least just force the force the offense out of their comfort zone. They're very comfortable with their cutting circles, so if you can pull them out to make them respond to something different, just continually make them uncomfortable. But the less comfort you can make the offense in terms of just we're happy with what we're doing, the more you can make them change it, the more likely you are to end up with those overthrows, those miscommunications. Still neither team with a real ascendancy just yet. Edie, the factory, gets the easy 1-2 with Birchall. Great catch there by Schmidt. Edie again, just one of the cleanest throwing actions you could ever see. Birchall, she's got a couple of options long. She's looking for Emily Marceau. Has to run underneath it to follow her defender, and it's drifted over her head. So Manly with a chance to score the 8th goal that will take us to the half break.
That's a really good throw.
Fantastic throw.
From the hip.
I think Marceau just got, I guess, a bit distracted by her defender going in early. She should have just backed her own read. Distracted in herself. Reeve. Anderson catches a bullet. Laws unguarded. Not much coming towards her. She's going to have to throw quite soon. Anderson. Plenty of cutters heading away. Chen comes underneath. And a pick being called, another stoppage. Bit of a crossover in the stack there, just in the middle of the screen there. So this comes in on stall 2. Anderson. Yeah, not letting her get to that high side. Reeve urging her cutters to go to the end zone rather than come towards her. But Wang. Fantastic floaty through to the advantage of Anderson, forcing factory defense to spread. Laws. Reeve. Couple of metres left now. And there we go.
Everyone's getting in the mix on that for Manly.
Christina Wang with another goal. Great play there by Manly. They were not quite caught, but the cuts were stagnant. Not really coming towards this low side anymore. So 1 or 2 throws to that high side forced the defense to spread out and then attack back the other way and beat them for pace. So smart play there by Manly, set up by that throw from Reeve, and then coming this way, Laws.
Manly using the whole field to score that goal.
Good to see, like we know these teams will make use of every player out there. Sarah Laws, we haven't seen her behind the disc a lot, and typically for a player that's not behind the disc a lot, you try and sort of cut towards them, only give them a 10-15 metre, but Reeves just cut directly away from her and completely backed her in to get that sort of 15 to 20 metre leading pass out, which was fantastic to see. Good lead.
Trusting your teammates.
Yeah. Great leadership as well. So it's half time, Manly up by 2. We're going to take a break for a couple of minutes and be back with the second half shortly. back with second half action just about underway. We're going to see if we can get Daniel Clinton for an update of other games. Daniel, been watching other quarterfinals?
I have, Simon. So far, it's going to seed mostly across the way. Fuse had an opportunity to take half against Ellipsis. They turned it over. Mara Neal to Eva Wetherell. Was the difference there, Ellipsis ending up taking half?
Thank you. And of course, the other quarterfinals, we have Ellipsis Asterisk taking on GWS. And Blueberries are up by a few on Rogue at the moment, we think. Just sort of sneaking looks at fields behind us only where we can, but our attention's still on this game. It's very much in the balance because it's 8-6 to Manly over Factory. But Manly start this half on offense. So if they could put this one in, that's a 3-goal lead to carry into the second half. Ball goes up, rolls out of bounds. Not quite out of bounds, bad read by me. But they've locked it on from that first pass. They've got tight match defense here now. So House under a bit of pressure. Reeve fires it up the line to Stoddard. Stoddard's got to look at Otten. Otten turns away at the wrong time. Warman getting involved. And overthrows it.
Good pressure from Factory.
Yeah, fantastic defensive pressure. Just really looked like they wanted to set an intent coming out of that half because they obviously don't want to see that lead blow out. So it's an important possession for them here. To Hoog. Nandon. Anderson finding space. We've got Lim free open on this low side, trying to drag Holly Reeve out of the play there on defense to Hoog. Lim. Great defensive pressure by Manly on the upfield throws, just not letting anything come away. Wang. Emerson. She's got a free play deep, doesn't shoot yet. Probably wants to work it up another 15, 20 metres before they look for those shots. Bobbin. Nice gainer, back to Emerson. Heads up the line now, but Otten's read that beautifully, come in early, takes the clean intercept. Has a couple of looks upfield. Cutters are just not moving for her though. She gives a nod to Anderson though. Out to Warman, picked there as two Factory players collide in the middle. I think it'll stay with Warman though, just giving De Hoog a chance to recover a couple of steps. So Warman, no Cutters with the real advantage here, so we'll probably see De Hoog get to catch up, put a mark on. Moore getting to that high side. She's got Stoddard long, sends it up, and gone over the top.
It's a little overshot.
Two shots now. Does a bit of a worm to get up. We've seen two shots happen like that now from both teams where it goes high, but then drifts away sharply on this near side. Again, the breeze coming from top to bottom is doing that. And
yeah, breeze is a factor, and you know, as a handler, that's just something else you have to pay attention to, or when you're receiving the disc.
And the combination of very soft ground and 2.5 days of altitude so far means there's probably not quite as much springiness in the legs in receivers anymore. So it's a great run through block by House. Good read of the play. She pops it out to Warman. And that's a big play for Manly to take a 3-goal lead. Just everything got a bit too close around the disc there for Factory and allowed Manly to close in. And sooner or later, one of those short throws is going to pop up, and House was just straight onto it.
I mean, Manly's putting really good pressure on the disc. They want, you know, it's the scenario where who wants the disc more,
yeah.
I think, for that.
See, Manly, that's what they're up to at halftime.
You get a little tired, sit back in your heels when you're running around, because that was a long point.
Yeah, very. Good throw by Emerson, but just good read by Otten just to come in on the underside of our cutter. And we see, we're going to look at this block if we can. Yeah, just go short and just House is able to peel off her marker and just catch it right on the goal line.
Starting off that point, Factory traded the disc a lot in that back part of the end zone too. Yeah. So, because the cuts weren't open from the downfield. So that can gas you out.
Yep. So factor in another go on offense. Edie and Birchall now in the air on the field. So different line of players having a go at offense here. Edie with that leading pass gather. Already halfway to goal. Players struggling to keep traction. Dedman. Edie up the line. Cardi going huge to try and get that one, and Birchall's just charged up the line.
You know, as you can see in the middle of the field, it's getting pretty soft. And when you're moving around in the middle, you know, you're sliding all over the place. And maybe that's a strategy to use, is to use the sideline a bit more.
Yeah, of course, a lot of rain and high-level ultimate with quite sharp movements will do that to a surface. You can see Edie just never looks like she's going at 100%. She is, but is so certain of everything she does that it's just, okay, this is like everything I'm doing is well thought out. She already knows what she's going to be doing before she's caught it. Nice simple throw.
Concentration and trusting herself, and then trusting her teammates.
Yeah.
I spoke with Kirsten Eyre before the game, and she said that the team is relying on their youthful enthusiasm. They're a very pragmatic team, and they've had 3 coaches this year, which is really helping them for strategy and their structure.
Yeah, it's good that sometimes the leadership can have that, I guess, burden taken off their mind, that they've sort of outsourced those decisions and those observations, and allows them to just focus on their own game. Chang for Manly. Otten starting to get more involved. So one cutting at a time for Manly. It's a lot tidier now, their offensive options. More count getting high now, so sends it high. She's got Chang, she's got Laws, and Emerson.
On that, it looked like Factory was marking the, Manly was marking the unders.
Yeah, so
really well.
Keeping themselves between the marker and the disc. Rosa Wang puts the shot up. Vanden all on her own. Time to run it down. She's got a stall count on early with not much happening ahead of her, so she'll hold on to it. Wait for a backwards option. Wang, who sent the initial throw up, gets it back. Emerson having to get back. Another pick call. Not uncommon as we get late into a tournament. So Laura Emerson's going to keep the disc. She's about maybe 28 metres from goal, but centre field. So a good look at both shots. And Factory running a central, a vertical formation, which gives them 2 throwing lanes on either side of the disc. And Emerson adept at throwing on either side, so good position to be in. De Hoog. Manly really trying to close that forehand side, the top sideline. De Hoog has to put the hammer up to Stu. That was a high stall count. That was great defensive pressure by Sarah Laws on Emerson there. Didn't allow her to get open. And so Shaban's going to pick up the disc for Manly. Again, they're not running with anyone behind the disc, just trusting all the throws to come forward. This is going to be a high count and a big throw. And yep, good defensive. Again, this is a game of defense, Amy. It's just a good one. Every player is just winning their one-on-one matchup against cutters, forcing the throwers to take unconventional options. This will be another one. She has to just pop it up. Otten and Bobbin. And Bobbin's a bit unsteady. She's going to call an injury or a foul. She took her time to think about it. There were a lot of bodies underneath it. So they're just going to have a chat, work out who did what.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a bit of a contact, incidental. Okay. Nothing. We're good to go? Yeah.
So I think what happened is Maureen Schmidt, Bobbin's teammate there, said, look, that contact came from me. I'm very sorry about it. So the call's retracted, but a quick turnover anyway. So Steve wants to get it going. Finds Bobbin. I don't think Bobbin was the intended receiver. She wanted to go high to, I think it was Maureen Schmidt at the back there. So this game's picked up a bit.
All right, Strawn walking to the disc, hoping to settle it down a bit.
More. Otten. Laws. Unguarded, gets a good clean look. Sends the throw out to Natalie Otten. Natalie Otten's going to have to... Oh, she's done it! Just picks that up near centimetres from the ground. Just sticks the arm out, grabs at it.
There you have it.
You don't know what you can get unless you go for everything. And Sarah Laws, I've completely underestimated her forehands. Because we talked about that one with Holly Reeve before, thinking that was just full trust from Reeve to get it, but we've got a power thrower here.
No, and that's Manly using all their players there, that offense that they're wanting, their style of play, wanting everyone to get in on the disc.
And that was the old point and deliver. Just you forehand, yep, sounds good, good plan, let's do it. It's been a good little battle between Otten and Bobbin, two of the younger players for each team playing in that deep space, but obviously Bobbin gives up a couple of inches in height to Otten, but they're both playing with absolute ruthless intensity on each other. But it looks like Otten's just sort of winning those crucial battles at the right time, you know, for the goals, for the blocks. But Bobbin's keeping it well contained otherwise. Birchall, Dedman, Lim on her own, shoots too far.
Oh, she's wanting it.
Yeah. Would have been a set play there from Factory. They put all their cutters on that high side to open up this this 2/3 of the field for one-on-one battles. So right shot there, just could have been better execution.
It's important to take a breath, you know, as the tournament gets longer, the games get longer. You want to take a breath. Settle down.
Warman doing exactly that for her Manly teammates. Reeve. Kershaw has to go high and just copped a little bump there from Lim. Lim saying sorry, but Kershaw satisfied that didn't affect the play. It was incidental and just going to play through it. Yeah. Edie streaking up the line, keeps a low release forehand throw. Bar there getting open. Edie going to have to get rid of it soon. Stoddard very active on the mark there. Yeah. Birchall. Having a look at that top side of the stack, I was going to say, keep an eye on this forehand coming out from Birchall over the top there. Holsters it for the moment, but Warman with the run-through block on air. Reeve having a look at Warman, sends it forehand to her advantage. Warman's going to have to do some work, but decides, you know what, I'm going to save the legs for later when it matters a bit more.
Oh, this is when it gets really hard at this stage in the tournament. You know, this is where your fitness is really important. People wanting those deep shots that would have been open maybe on the first or second game aren't so much open now.
Bertrand, huge hand block there, Anna Stoddard. 82 casual about that throw, and Stoddard's just swatted that one away. Gives Manly a shot right on the goal line. Warman picks it up. She's got Reeve short. Players scrambling everywhere. Warman has to put the throw up. Birchall gets a clean hand to it through the fingers of Reeve.
Oh, might have been an idea to call a timeout there.
So Birchall, a couple of cutters heading away from her. Has Happ unguarded in the middle. Tries to find Lorna Barr, who hits the deck trying to get a hand under that one. House picks it up, looking to move it quickly. Reeve, she's got both sides of the field to look at, continues to Stoddard. Stoddard's got, we see Christina Wang, limbs underneath as well. And a block away, a bit of an accidental trip. Even Lynn lands a bit heavily, but not overall worried about it. Knows that there was sort of no intention there. This game's been played in very good spirit, Amy. Like both teams, they're going hard, but still keeping it fair. And being open with their communication, willing to listen to the other team's perspective and take it on board when needed. Edie right in the corner, pumps the forehand out. Birchall's drifted deep. She's got Reeve with her, but Birchall's just got the height. No call there.
Good pressure.
Yep.
And sometimes pressure is just what it takes, being there, being around the person trying to catch the disc.
Making the receiver think about you as well as the disc. House.
Wow, backhand catch.
Yep, great catch by Stoddard there. Great catch by Chen. And a more casual catch by Reeve there, but there has been a call.
It's really hard to plant and turn in the center of the field there.
Yep.
It's really soft.
Birchall's calling offensive foul on Reeve, so saying that Reeve's like maybe just sort of put the arm up and pushed off on her. So the disc is going to go back to Chen. So Reeve happy to accept that foul. Like, it's not a conscious thing she's doing. Sometimes you just put the arm up, you know, just for safe, just because that's a reaction. So yeah, Reeve happy to accept.
This is a long point.
Yep. Wang, Warman. She's got Chen heading away from her and Kershaw. Kershaw switches, goes back the other way, but Birchall has seen that. Twice she has got down and got up. Birchall starting to really stamp herself on this game, playing at both ends. She's picking up this disc. Do not be surprised to see this go to Dedman. Dedman's, the forehand's gone out. That's drifting wide. Not going to come back in, unfortunately. Not the throw she would have wanted. And so that's going to be Manly's disc coming back inbounds, almost about probably 10 metres from goal. So Laura House, about 15 from goal. Reeves isolated just off the right there. Sends it back, continues across to Warman. Warman's going to have to work. Goes to her knees to secure the catch. Has done that well. Back to Reeve. Inside shot to House there. You can see Reeve playing as that reset handler well back. We'll talk about why that is after this point if we get a chance.
Both teams working really hard.
Wang sends it up over the top looking for Chen. She's done that well.
Much needed break.
Yeah, that's 10-7 to Manly. 11-7, sorry. I'm trying to keep track of too much here, Amy. So instead I'm going to throw down to Daniel Clinton, who's going to give us some update from around the grounds.
So we're about to have our first semi-finalists. Ellipsis are out in front against GWS, 13-5 in that game. Bluebells are leading Rogue 11-6 currently. Ellipsis starting to stamp their authority on the match against Fuse. They've just scored the last couple to take it to 12-9. It seems like Fuse might be fading there, and Ellipsis might get over them.
Might they have spent all their tickets early. So we saw Holly Reeve. So typically you always have one player playing behind the disc just to provide that reset option. Reeve was playing 8 to 10 metres behind. The reason that I think, I'm keen to hear what you think about this, Amy, but the backwards throws to her means that she then has a good, clear look at both sides of the field before the defence gets to her.
Mm-hmm. And you're also making you're taking your defender out of any poaching situations where they could maybe get the disc.
Yeah.
So setting up further, trusting your teammates that they can get you those throws back there. I think that's a good strategy.
And it gives you those throwers, even if they're feeling a bit of pressure, like they're playing at a Division 1 level, they're probably fine with everything that's going on.
I think in one of those situations, I would have looked for a timeout as a captain, especially with the disc centered. Now that can't always work in your favor, but sometimes it's just enough of a break where you can reset and get your plan going.
Yep. I have very strong feelings about midpoint timeouts, Amy, and that they don't work. That said, when a point is going on and your players are too fatigued to carry out your planned offensive strategy and you don't have room to adapt one, then it can be good to call one just to have basically an extended rest. and then get back, go again.
I've seen it fail terribly, though,
Of
before.
course, I'll convince you by the end of this game, I'm sure. Steve to Hoog. Bobbin's gone long, but not a clear shot yet. Steve has a good look now, but a couple of goes at it. Chang makes sure of it. They get another critical possession. Richards for Manly to restart play. Couple of cuts coming towards her. Anderson had to have a go up that one. It was a bit wrong-footed. Emerson goes for a quick restart to Steve. Wasn't ready for that one. It had to be called out. To Hoog finds room. Sends the big backhand out. Steve, who's now moved downfield. She's got one clear look upfield. That was Jess Lowry looking to get involved. Back to Emerson. Factory slowed the pace of their offense down here. Manly happy to just contain. They're not exactly hunting for a block at the moment. Emerson's got to work for this one. Innovative throw by Steve to get it out to her. Now she's right on the goal line. Couple of circle of cuts coming. And she finds Rosa Wang for the goal. That was...
Factory did well to maintain possession there.
Yep. Not the prettiest of offense, but they don't draw pictures on the scoreboard. However you get the goal, you can mark 8 on the scoreboard and move on. I don't think the coaches will be looking to do much of an analysis. I mean, there's no training next week, so there'll be no dissection of that play. Let's just say it worked and we're done. Great cut there by Rosa Wang, though. She took one or two steps towards that top corner and then just managed to keep her weight low that she could dart back and had a defender in all sorts. So light rain starting to sprinkle. We're ticking up to the 70-minute mark of the game with the score at 11-8. So highly unlikely we'll get to time cap. We'll probably see one team get to 15, but 3 goals is not insurmountable. What they need to do, though, is take the disc off Manly first in order to get those goals. So they've come down with their zone look again. Like you said before, Amy, keep switching up these defensive looks, make them have to innovate. Throws going up. Hannah Chen had a couple of defenders bearing in on her, so a little bit to think about.
She just turned her head.
Yep.
She just turned her head, and I think that unfortunately made her drop the disc.
Birchall to air. Working it up. We might see 1 or 2 more forward passes before a shot goes up to the end zone. A low one. Can't quite get it off the toes there, so Strawn to pick it up. Reeve. Another drop. The fumble Rooskies costing both teams here.
It has started to rain again, so maybe that disc is getting kind of slippery.
Schmidt can't get open first time, so Edie gets centre of the end zone. She's got a good look at both sides. Lacey Moore doing some work on defence, but leading Birchall open. To air. Bit of a wobbly old throw to Edie, but it doesn't matter too much. And she pops this one up to air right as a gust of wind came up. This volatile weather is doing teams in this weekend. Any other day, that would have just been a nice, tidy throw to air, but Chen having to go low for that one again. A gust of wind coming through, making life difficult. More Strawn. Not much happening towards. She'll have to go backs and around, or she could just go around. Shaban, Laws. She's got Reeve in the middle. And Reeve's put another one down. She's just... Good honesty there from Reeve. I don't think anyone realised she put that to ground, but she gets up, wipes her hand off, and goes, yep, sorry, that's my bad. Birchall. Schmidt coming towards her, now heading away, but clip of the toes, and a foul called, and an injury called. So Schmidt's just going to come off. Yep, just taking taking the sub just to make sure she's okay, not sort of hold the game up any further. So this will go back to Birchall. Well, it stays with Birchall. Wind and the rain really starting to pick up now. It's going to make offense quite challenging. Edie having to stretch for it. Yeah. Again, the same three, just offensive marshals for Factory, but the fumble there, I think there was just no spin on that throw whatsoever from there, so Birchall
Defense and offense too close.
Yeah, couldn't get a clean hand on it. Shaban with every player ahead of her. Reeve drifting back now, gets it open. She's got numbers on this low side, but a pick's been called. Again, Cutters is taking Route 1. They're just sort of trying to run through traffic, which of course means that, you know, there's going to be collisions to avoid. So everyone's just working out where. Reeve took the big long shot out looking for Strawn. Spotted up beautifully.
There we go, good vision. That throw, defense was behind the disc, offense was in front in the end zone. It's really hard to defend that.
And you were talking before about sometimes when you get a stoppage like that, it's given the thrower the chance to go to really just assess, okay, where is everyone, who's positioned where, because you don't always have that time in live play. You've only got a couple of seconds to really make that call. But it gave Reeve a chance to size up everything.
That's right. And sometimes even with the handlers, you can form a connection with another player, and they know just by looking at your eyes what you're going for.
Yeah, just the old sort of raised eyebrow on the head tilt, go that away. But even then, so we saw Eva Strawn there. She was drifting towards the low side, but maintaining that eye contact with Reeve. So when Reeve starts to wind up beforehand, she knows, oh, okay, this is coming the other side of me. So wheels around. So by the time the throw's in the air, she's facing the right way for it.
It's trust, it's confidence, and it's a connection.
And repetition. You do it enough times at training, enough times in league, and enough times at tournaments that becomes second nature. Ormond with the pull for Manly. Holly Reeve finally dragged, kicking and screaming to the bench for this point. Lapel. Match defense here for Manly, and
Styles counts.
Yeah, that's high. That's real high. Run through block from Cardi. Ormond on her own. House. Back to Ormond. Numbers on the low side. They all double back as they realise they're creating each other. Cuts heading everywhere, so Ormond just pops it up. And Chang's the one that drops into. So Factory were just no responsiveness at that point. They didn't quite respond offensively to the different defensive look, and they didn't respond quickly enough to the turnover, so it just meant that there were unguarded players everywhere. But again, we talked before about sometimes you just take the goal and move on. I think Manly's end zone play, I mean, if that was a set play, brilliant. But if you
looked a little bit stagnant, but you know, again, there's a trust and there's a connection out there with these ladies. They've been practicing for months now together.
And Ormond popped that up and in between three defenders, so fantastic throw there. While we're waiting for the next goal here, we're going to throw down to Daniel Clinton for updates from the other quarterfinals.
Yeah, we've got two semi-finalists so far. Lipsis did beat GWS on the far field. The score there was 15-6. And then we also had Blueberries beat Rogue 15-8 as well. Meanwhile, Fuse are having the game of the tournament for them. They're down 11-13 against Ellipsis. Ooh. They had an opportunity to bring it within one. They couldn't do it. It's so close over there at the moment.
Great contest as point gets underway here. I think Edie and Birchall taking the easy yards as they got it. Birchall's put the long throw up. That was Dedman, I think, just on her own at the back there. Defense lost track of her. She's got Schmidt. Fantastic cut by Schmidt.
Just a little sneak.
Yep, headed towards the back. Planted, turned hard. Came laterally. And there's that Factory have needed an offensive point like that for somewhere. They get to go back to playing their long throwing style. And I think this is going to really blow them up for what they hope to be a little defensive run here to get back into the game. Of course, the ellipsis asterisk, the one being the one to make the semi-final. And Blueberries coming out of Auckland in New Zealand, also making top 4. Who's going to join them? To be determined. We'll just hear a big cheer from the back here. I think Fuse have earned one back to make it 13-12. A large crowd is built around the sideline of that game. So if you hear noise in the background, we'll try and tell you why. But this game's far from over. It's not going to take much. The fortunes of ultimate teams can change in minutes. Birchall with the roller pull. Puts it out of bounds, gives them time to set up their defense. House will bring it into play about 40 from goal. Right in front of us. Close, tight zone, no gaps in between it, so she has to go over the top to Warman. Warman bombs the foot backhand out, looking for Otten, and that's going to be met by Dedman. Otten's taken 2 grabs at it, picks it up, does not waste time, but Schmidt, they've just rushed themselves too much there, Manly, and here we go. Schmidt, Edie, 1-2. Yeah, Schmidt doing the work here now. She's got Lorna Barr going long. It slows it down now. They've got it to Nelly halfway. Makes eye contact with Edie. Finds Birchall. Birchall bombs the forehand up to Edie. What a throw. And that was Otten coming in to make a play at it and did what she could to avoid contact, but it was pretty inevitable. And the foul's been called. The injury is being called. I just don't think I don't think Otten expected Edie to lay out for that, and so Edie's gone for it. Did secure the catch. Oh, that's a foot to the head. So hopefully Edie's okay. I think she's just taking the sub just to, I guess, be sure of herself. But it's going to be Emerson subbing on for her. Taps it into play. Lots of players running past her. Not a bad sub to make to get it in the hands of an experienced thrower. Air. Dedman. No cuts coming. She has to look to her handlers. Air goes upfield. Birchall goes downfield. Bar's open, but Warmer's just parked herself in that corner there, blocking it up, which means someone's open on this high side. Air's drifted out. Schwitt goes up as well.
The wind catching that one.
Yep. So Laura House for Manly is jogging over to the disc. She'll bring it up to the front of the end zone as Factory have their defense set up. 5 around the disc. They've got plenty of space in the middle, so don't be surprised to see it pop over the top to Stoddard. But I think Air got a hand to that one. It's dropped it short, and this is a great outcome. So they're going to try and isolate Schmidt in the orange boots to the front of that formation. Takes a secondary option to Dedman as Schmidt couldn't find that room. Holly Reeve was right on her. Wasn't going to let her get to that high side. So again.
Factory with the right idea there for the break side throw into the end zone. Classic.
This time Reeve picking up the disc, and this has forced the Factory defense to spread out a bit more because they're more aware of her throwing power. She puts a bloody forehand up, doesn't reach Otten. Birchall picks it up because she's got numbers free. Has a couple of looks, this time Hap. What is it for? House? That's mean. House is called travel.
I mean, outstanding in soup.
But this is giving her a chance to catch her breath, and the cutters to catch their breath as well. And there we go, Lorna Barr just gets nice and open. Yeah, heaps of players heading to that top corner. Birchall comes back. The inside throw, a risky one. Birchall this time also has looked for that inside throw. Yeah, can't get open, and there's been a call made by Birchall on Otten. Contact perhaps. Uncontested foul, so it's going to be a fresh count for Birchall. Pops the throw out. Schmidt has to have one go and has a second go, and she's got it. Sideline celebrating. So she's retained possession, hasn't got the goal, throws the worst throw I've ever seen into the lap of Laura Emerson and secures the goal.
It makes it.
So, yeah, Schmidt, she did lay out, took the catch, but her first contact with the ground was her feet, so not in goal. So, retained possession, but I think...
I mean, I've been out there, you know, and sometimes you just want it over.
Yes. I'm not sure I want to see it again. As we said again, that dive from Edie, that I did what she could to avoid it. Tried jumping over her, but I think just clipped her. Yeah, clipped her with that foot as she tried to kick it up, and yeah.
Things like that are going to happen.
One go at it, and yeah. So yeah, feet were still on the ground, and then Emerson was just one out there. I mean, if the disc spins and goes forward, it's a throw. But I think whoever was defending Emerson had just walked away thinking it was a goal anyway. Just leaving Reeve to try and defend it on her own. So, but yeah, good by Schmidt to not wait for the defense to readjust and realise Strawn can't get the first pass off, but finds Hannah Chen. They're forcing throws into the middle of the field here, Factory, trying to clog up that space. Chang. Strawn.
All these underthrows are open.
Yeah. Reeve, who's got the forehand shot, puts it out to the Avenger Kershaw. Kershaw looks upfield, says, oh, wait, that's to me.
Putting it to space rather than to a player. Putting it to the player running to the space, and there's a goal.
Strawn pops it up to Holly Reeve. Yeah, so Factory, they were giving up a lot of undercuts, so cuts towards the disc, because they were forcing the throwers to throw to the middle of the field, throw to the center of the field. So trying to crowd that open lane, but Factory were just too quick and too good. Sorry, Manly were too quick and too good to provide that. You see Holly Reeve just saw that space and just charged into it. And a beautifully weighted throw there by Eva Strawn. She's had a fantastic game. Plenty of good throws, couple of goals herself. And so it's game point for Manly. Factory, keep scoring, keep in it. Quickly head to Daniel Clinton for an update.
Well, the only other game that was running has now been resolved. Fuse, they were so brave. They nearly got there. 15-12, they lose to Ellipsis. An absolute heartbreaker over there. Played the game of the tournament for them.
Yep, no fairy tale finishes today. Reeve sends the pull deep and central. Edie. Birchall. Manly taking a while to really set that defense up. But now they've got it locked on certain of it. Odds come into play on air. That's a smart move. Schmidt. Players heading away from her. Birchall pushing downfield now. Edie. Cuts heading away from her. Birchall. Needle. Yeah, beating Elton's outstretched hand, Edie. Birchall hitting that upfield space. It's a bit crowded there. Fantastic give-go movements for their throwers, and there you go. Finally get the clear shot at Debman, but Reeves got in, saw it out of the hand, and has intercepted that one clean as you like. They're setting up a zone look. Shaban, Cardi. Lots of players heading towards her. Laws takes her time, waits for the defense to set, looks at what she's presented with, and Edie's gone in with the arm as Cardi dropped it, and Cardi straight away is called the foul. Let's see if we can get a look at this one. Ooh. What do you think, Amy?
I didn't see any contact.
Yep. Straight away, they've just acknowledged we're not going to agree here.
There was
back.
something from behind.
Looked clean to me, but I mean, I'm not out there, so. Law's still with the disc. This time pops it outside to Cardi. Three players over the top everywhere. Schmidt slips as she goes to bid on it, so gives it up to Reeve. Reeve finds Otten. She's got Law coming in towards her. Heads backwards to Reeve. Laws, Shaban. Start up one direction. Stoddard just inbounds. Sends the backhand up, looking for Otten. Otten's reeled it in.
Trail away catch. That's a great catch.
And that's the game. Manly are through to the top four once again. Hoping to go one better than their second place finish of the last couple of years. They keep their tournament alive. And we have our semi-final matchups for this afternoon.
Hey, both teams playing really good defense out there.
Yep. Yeah, close game, fantastic game, and yeah, a lot to learn. If you're a new player watching this, it's definitely a game to rewatch, learn a bit more about defensive and offensive positioning. Daniel Clinton's down there with Anna Stoddard.
Yeah, just here with Anna Stoddard. Walk me through the decision-making on that throw.
Let's just say the decision and the outcome were very far apart. I'm going to blame the rain. It slipped a little bit, but Nat's an incredible receiver. So if I kind of throw any rubbish in the end zone, she's probably going to catch it. And that's what you want in a receiver, so I'm very happy.
Not exactly what you intended, but it ended in the goal, which is great.
Yeah, it's called results-based ultimate, if you've ever heard of it.
I have once or twice. Now, you're into the semi-finals. Can Manly get back-to-back into the finals?
I want to say that over these past 3 days, Manly has been steadily building. Our energy on the first day was a little bit low, and our belief has just kept rising. And honestly, we're a team that's so based on belief and so based on hype, and our hype is up here now, so I really do believe we can get to the final again.
Well, thank you very much, Anna. That's a great victory for you. We'll go back to you, Simon Talbot.
Cheers.
Thank you, Daniel, and thanks, Anna. So, Amy, great game. A very back and forth, very tactical and strategical game.
Yeah, what I like about Manly was their trust and confidence in throwing to each other, and trusting each other that they're going to catch even some rubbish throws. But for Factory, they stayed in it really well. I liked how they used the field. Factory did a great job using both sides of the field.
So either team here would have been well deserving of a semi-final place, but it's Manly Ultimate Club, their top women's team, going through. We'll be covering one of the women's semi-finals at 3 p.m. today, but before that, at 1 p.m., 30 minutes from now, is the open semi-final between defending champions Ellipsis Men's and fellow national champions from New Zealand, Wildcats. So both teams heading to the World Ultimate Club Championships later this year, so good little preview of that. Hope you can join us on Kayo Freebies for Australian viewers, Ultivids for international viewers. We'll be back in half an hour with that game.
Mo Shea Beats.